My name is John Kaufman. I am Assistant Director of the Raptor Center. Shavers Creek is an environmental center of Penn State, so Penn State's nature center. So here at Shavers Creek, currently we're housing 22 birds of prey, along with 3 venomous snakes, 10 turtles, 4 non-venomous snakes, and a couple amphibians. And these birds and animals are permanently injured in some way. So when you visit, you may see a missing wing or an eye injury or a permanent residence here at Shavers Creek. Early in the 90s, we used to do rehabilitation, so more birds came through the facility than they do now. We went away from rehabilitation and just focused on permanent housing for these animals and using them for educational programs. And life is hard as a wild animal or in captivity. They do get stressed out and sometimes they don't do well. But for the past couple of years, we've maintained the same animals, so they're staying healthy, which is really good. So the daily routine for me is, when I come in the morning, the first thing I like to do is check on the animals. Just kind of getting an idea of how things are going and seeing if there's any major problems with some of the animals, making sure everybody's on schedule. So a lot of communication amongst staff members. And then maybe if I'm doing a traveling naturals program, I'll collect 4 birds into a travel enclosure. And then I'll travel to a school and then come back at the end of the day and maybe feed them too if necessary. So another great story of one of our resident raptors here at Shavers Creek is our barred owl. She is actually the oldest one at the center. She came to us in 1989. We don't know how old she was before she came here, so we can't exactly age her. And she's very unique in that she's just very calm around people. She's kind of knows the ropes of feeding times and handling procedures, and so she has that kind of unique personality. And the barred owls, if you come here maybe later in the day or night, you might hear it do its call, say, "Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all?" So, woo, 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 woo. Right here behind me is a broadwing hawk. The reason we had this one here in particular, it is fully flighted, so the wings are fine. It's missing an eye though, so with having one eye, it would have difficulty hunting those amphibians and snakes and small rodents. But this one is very unique. Their personalities are very kind personalities, they're very gentle personalities, and that's why we are able to enclose them with other raptors, such as a short-eared owl. So behind me here is a golden eagle. They found her underneath a power line, so she was electrocuted pretty badly, severely burned in the wing, and a big hole in her throat where the electrocution mainly happened. She's about 24 years old, so she's gone a long way since that day that she was electrocuted. The black vulture came to us a little over, less than a year now, in May of 2014. And it came as a young black vulture. So at that point, it was still learning a lot of things, and it's a very curious bird. So for the kids, make sure you chew your food very well before you swallow. Not like that. While working with these birds, I have kind of bonded with them a little bit. but not to a point where they're my pets. We try to separate that from pets to they're still wild animals. And that's why we don't give them names. We still allow that separation. But I do get a sense of personality and get a sense of trust with them. When I come in here and see some of these birds, or even when I'm teaching at schools and festivals, I see the reaction from these kids and these adults that they've never seen that bird that big or never seen him that close, and that gives me great satisfaction. I was once that student sitting in that school thinking, oh wow, that guy has a golden eagle in his hand. That's amazing, and I would love to do that someday. And you know, those kids may become an educator or a person that handles wild animals. It is tough to deal with. These birds are not free flying as they should be or would like to be. These birds being injured permanently would have to go to a home somewhere, and we are happy to house these. And this gives us a great opportunity to educate and let these animals, these birds, these turtles, be ambassadors of their species.